In today's tutorial, we're going to be going over how to troubleshoot your DLP TV and repair the problem. We're going to do this by bypassing the complicated methods of service repair shops and LED number counts, and we're just going to get straight to the point. This tutorial should indeed 100% help you get your DLP TV back up and running. So we're going to get off and started pretty quickly. As you can see, this is a 60-inch DLP TV. It's showing a red light to represent power. So already I know the problem is not in the power. This is the first thing you want to confirm. Do you have power? With the red indicator light clearly showing that there is power to the set, the next step is to attempt to power up the set. As you can see, in some cases you will get a green flashing light. This is a representation of the TV attempting to power on. You will also hear a fan. If you get the green flashing power light, as well as the fan, the probability of your DLP chip being blown is 0. At this point, you can now confirm that you have power, so there is no issue with your power supply due to the function of the power button and the fans. This is also an indicator that your main board and DLP chip are 100% functioning. At this point in time, the TV is actually on. Okay, so this is a clear indicator of a blown lamp. I haven't attempted to repair this set yet. I haven't checked to confirm the problem, but at this point, I'm 100% sure that that's what the problem is. So now, I will show you how to repair your DLP lamp. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple seconds and turn this thing around because you're going to work at the back of the TV. You're going to 9 out of 10 need a Phillips head screwdriver. Your set does not have to be a Mitsubishi to match this, okay? What I'm giving you should apply across all DLPs. Alright, so here we go, okay? The door can be on your left or your right side, depending on your set. You may have 1 or 2 screws as well, depending on your set. But this particular set has 1 screw for the door. So you're going to take that Phillips head screwdriver that should look something like this, and you're going to just take out that 1 screw. Okay, now upon removing the panel, you're going to want to make sure you remove this screw and that you don't damage the panel. Okay, so you want to put these 2 to the side until the next step. Alright, now in the next step, you're going to want to actually take a look inside. Try to get you in there. And as you can see, this particular one has 2 screws. 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those screws out first. Alright, by using that same Phillips head screwdriver as before. Try to see if I can take the light away. I can see. I hope that's safe. If not, you get the point. You just want to pop out the 2 screws. You should have 2. Some sets I noticed do have 4, so you're gonna want to look out for that. Make sure that you check all of the screws. Alright, you're gonna keep screwing these. These don't come out. Alright, they kind of just get loose and they stay in position. So you just want to make sure that they loose. Keep screwing until they won't screw anymore. Okay. Once you have both screws loosened, it's a little handle on the device. You can see that handle about there. Okay, you're gonna want to grab that and pull. It could take a lot, it could take a little. Alright, you may have to pull this a little harder than I just did. In some cases, you really have to pull. So don't be afraid to pull if you need to once all of the screws have been removed. You also going to want to make sure that the set is unplugged before you do any of this, just to point that out. Alright, I should have said that earlier. Alright, but I would assume I'll put a warning at the beginning of the video just in case. But always unplug the set when you're working on it with this kind of stuff. Alright, so now we have the lamp housing out of the set. This is where your light bulb at. And I'm going to show you how to check that in just a minute. This is what the inside of your DLP television looks like, where the bulb is. That fan is actually to cool the bulb. If you notice how much dust is in there, now that it's already taken apart, this is an excellent opportunity to clean out some of that dust, which will extend the life of your DLP chip. Okay, because if the chip get hot, that's what causes damage to the chip. So not seeing a lot of dust in here is actually a really good sign. That means that the TV was probably well kept, and the DLP chip should be fine for quite some time after this repair with a brand new bulb. So yeah, I'm gonna get set up for the next step, which will be the repair of the lamp, and I'm explaining a couple more things, and we'll continue from there. In the next step, now that you got the lamp removed, you're gonna want to get a look at it. I got a chance to take a look in there, and indeed the light bulb was busted. As you can see, DLP bulbs actually kind of explode, so you might even hear a pop, which is also a pretty clear indicator that your bulb went. It is a little bit dirty, so if you like, you can clean it off before you start to work with it. One of the things I want to highlight is when you order these bulbs, you do have options between lamp bulbs of a lower cost and of a higher cost. The price range could be anywhere from $25 to $100. You may spend $25 on a cheaper bulb, but it'd be something that you probably end up regretting. It's better to buy the more expensive bulbs, the original bulb, whatever is in the set is what you want to replace it with, a genuine original bulb. Buying the cheaper versions, it'll save you some money, but it won't. It's of a really low performance standard in comparison to the original manufacturer part. And it's really a better investment for longevity as well to purchase the original part for these DLP TVs. So make sure to spend the money on getting the original bulb. Don't go the cheap route on this one. It's definitely better to buy the more expensive original bulb. Okay, so what they're gonna do is send you out just the bulb, and you'll have to reuse the original housing, and I'm gonna show you how to do that as well. What you're gonna want to do is get a flathead screwdriver, okay, and the Phillips head screwdriver again. All right, the first step, you're gonna remove the Phillips head screw that's holding the plug in place. All right. Okay. That'll allow you to remove the cable. Right. Then you want to take your flathead screwdriver. Alright, well, for each housing, before you just take out one screw like I've done, make sure you look over yours and make sure there are no other screws. In this model, there are none, okay? But in yours, there may be other screws. So before you attempt to separate the housing, make sure to look around one more time for any extra screws that may be in yours that are not in mine, okay? So once you got that out the way, you'll see these little tabs. You're going to want to pop these tabs, okay? Just one at a time, just go around it. Well, you don't want to do that to it, but it ain't no big deal, really. And then you'll be able to lift this off. Alright. And now you should have this. Once you remove the top housing, you'll be here. Alright. Okay. So, for the bulb, there's a screw at the top holding it in place, a screw in the corner, and two on the very bottom. Okay, you're gonna want to remove all four of those screws. Again, every screw you see, you want to take out. Okay, so that's the next step. We're gonna take out the screws, and these screws will release the light bulb from this housing. Well, I'm having a little trouble with my Phillips head, so I probably have to grab another one. Get that other screw. Nope. Sometimes you can even get away with it with the flat head. So, alright. At this point, and you should now be able to remove the bulb. Keep this clip. There you go. That's the bulb removed from the original housing, the broken bulb. And we'll be right back. I'm gonna get this cleaned up. Be careful because there is still a couple pieces of glass in here. Okay, so I'm gonna get this stuff cleaned up a little bit, and then I'll come back and show you how to put it back together again. Because after you order your new bulb, it'll come like this in the box. Again, you want to order the original bulb for the replacement. Okay, I've cleaned off the housing. I've cleaned off the area that I'm working in, which is really important. You don't want any dust to transfer to this new bulb. You want to keep it as dust free as possible. I just wanted to show the broken bulb one more time. Alright, in case you wanted to see how broken it was. It's really broken. Alright, so I'm going to toss this in the garbage can now. Or to the side to match it up first, then I'll throw it away. So keep it until you match them up, then you can throw it away. Right. Now, some important things about this bulb. I ain't sure how it's packaged in here. So let's take a look at that. I'm gonna cut it open for the first time. Let's see. And use a box cutter for this. Alright, keep it low, just to make sure you don't damage the bulb. Okay, so it comes bubble wrap like this. That's how it's packaged. You're gonna want to leave it in that bubble wrap. Let me get this out the way. You're gonna want to leave it in that bubble wrap until you're ready to install it. So just leave it in this plastic until you get to that point. Like I said, you want to take it and compare it to the other one. Which, if you can see just the glass on this one, how faded the glass is in comparison, you can kind of already see some of the differences that this change is gonna make in your television. It's almost like going from old to brand new. What you actually see on the surface of the old bulb is actually burned. It's actually burned from the time that it's been used. And this is what they look like when they're brand new, like straight glass almost. Okay. So this is how you can tell if you got a new one or a used one or what's going on there. Alright. So everything matching up on mine. It came with the harnesses pre-attached, which is nice. It makes the job a lot quicker and a lot easier. Alright. So you should get it pretty much like I got mine. This, again, pay for the higher quality is better. So you won't need any of the old connections. Alright. We only gonna need the new bulb, and then we'll just be putting it into the television now. So we're gonna put the old garbage bulb to the side. we're going to clean off our surface. As I explained, this is very important to make sure that you clean off the environment that you're going to put this bulb in. One speck of dust on this lens can distort your picture, man. You know, like give you a little dust spot or something on your picture. So just make sure that you take extreme care with this until it's time for the actual installation. They didn't include gloves in this. Alright, but I highly recommend a pair of gloves. You don't want to get any sweat or moisture. You don't want to touch the lens, the bulb of this, anything. It's actually better to get gloves. I recommend if it's the first time you're doing it, that you definitely get yourself a pair of gloves. Okay. If you've done it before, you know the procedure. You can probably know where you can hold it and where not to hold it. But I would advise a pair of rubber, nylon, rubber gloves. Rubber glove, latex, whatever works for you, to handle this. All right. Now we basically just do the same procedure as we did to take it apart to put it back together, and I'm going to show you how to do that next. In the next step, okay, if you notice, I'm doing the installation of the bulb on top of the bubble wrap that was included in the package. That's to make sure that it don't get no scratches or anything don't happen to it during the process at all. Alright, I couldn't find a pair of gloves, but I have done this many times, so I know pretty much what I can get away with. Alright, so you want this to be basically as fast as a swap as you can make it from one to the other. So you're gonna put it so that the bulb, first you need to take your gray clip that was removed. You want to put that in the top. And now the way that you know the top is in comparison to the old one, it'll face down. Okay, so basically like this. That's your top, where you see that on the top. Okay. All right. Just if you get lost, just look at the design of the dot where that arrow go. The old extension, the little tiny wire. Just follow where that goes on the old one and make sure that this one lines up facing the same way. Okay. And you'll be all right. Then you want to take that, sit it down gently. Okay. There you go. Now you want to take one screw, that black screw, get that into position. Now don't tighten it all the way. Okay, you don't want to tighten that screw yet all the way. Just tighten it enough to hold it in place so there are no accidents. Next, you're going to want to put the clamp back, which goes this way. And it go over the top of the two little pins in the back, so it got little position holders so that it's a little bit easier. Right. Whenever I have trouble with that screw before, I'm gonna go back with my flathead screwdriver. Where is that? You don't have to use the flathead screwdriver. You can use whatever Phillips screwdriver you have. It's just in my case, for tutorial time's sake, I'm basically just using whatever it is that's closest to me. So this ain't no important. There's no real reason that I'm using it. Alright. And again, you just want to tighten them, but not all the way down. Same thing as before. You kind of want to keep it a little loose. Okay. Now, the positioning of the tabs. Okay. And you'll notice that one kind of has a part that it lines up on. It may not fit exactly in it. If you notice, mine don't exactly fit in the groove, but that ain't a problem. That's okay. Alright, so don't worry about that if that happens. And see, and that's why you want to put some screws in it, you know, because then when you gotta do something like that, the bulb don't fall out on you. I should be using a magnetic screwdriver, but again, I'm doing this on a live stream on my Twitch channel. I'm gonna be actually doing a lot of the fixing and teaching how to repair different things. It's just one of the tutorials that I decided to stream while I do. So it's live. So some mistakes, slight mistakes have been made. Nothing major. Okay. Okay. Now once you got that in position, you want to take a look at the front. Make sure that everything looks centered. Okay. Now you can go ahead and tighten that. Now you can go ahead and tighten up all of the screws, starting with the one on the top, kind of in a crisscross pattern, back to the one on this side, back to this side. Now you don't need to go crazy with this. You just need to tighten it till it's tight, you know. Okay. Because if you make it too tight, you can crack the bulb. Alright, so just make it as tight as it needs to be. No tighter. Alright. Next step, you want to put back that the top housing. Make sure that these cords are pushed down into the grooves. So you try to put that housing over the top of them like this. Alright, these two. You want the cords to run through there. And putting this back on, the easiest way is to kind of sit down until you get to the cables and the housing, and then you should have it like this, and you kind of just want to push, and then it should snap in place. Alright, you want to make sure it snaps in place on both sides. Don't touch the lens. Okay, so now at this point we got that part of the housing put back together. Now we're going to put back on the tail, which plugs in at a downward angle first, and then the other side of the tail plug in where it belongs. Alright, so I'm going to get that in position. It's like a under over, you know, like the side that's closest goes down and the other side goes up. Alright, it only fit one way. So the smaller side is going to go turn. You're going to put the smaller side in first. You see that's the littler side, that's the fatter side. You're going to go downward at a downward angle and then push down and then fit into position. Then you want to take that extra screw. You want to put that screw in. Tighten that up. There you go. Now that the housing is put back together, I'm going to prepare the set for the next part, which will be the reinserting of the light. And we should be able to get it to power up. And I'm going to show you that too. But as far as this goes, this concludes the basic build tutorial of the housing and installing the new bulb and how to check the problem. And next, I'll give you a demo of putting it back and if the TV works. Now that we have finished reinstalling the bulb, the next step is to insert the bulb into the television. Okay, now I gotta warn you, you're gonna feel a little maybe cautious about when you inserting this, okay? Because it's gonna be maybe harder than you might like, but it do take some push, okay? You will hear a snap when it's in position. Okay. So now we want to tighten up these screws again. I'm gonna get a better screwdriver. Make them nice and tight. Okay. Now, so you see, this point is back reinstalled. Okay. And now I'm gonna turn it around, and then we're gonna try to fire it up. So let's see if the result is well. Actually, this is why I said put the door to the side and the screw. Make sure that you put the door and the screw back on, or it won't power up. All right, these TVs have a fail-safe where if the door isn't on, they won't power up. So make sure you put the door back on before you go to test it. Almost forgot to mention that. Okay. Back on. Nice and tight. Alright, I'm gonna get this set turned around and then I'll show you the result. Here we are again. We got the TV turned around, back plugged in where y'all can see. This part always makes me nervous. This is the first time I'm about to attempt power it on. I didn't want to do it off camera. I wanted to try it on camera to see if it really work out the first try or not. So here we go. This is the 60-inch DLP TV. It was basically somebody else's garbage, and let's see if now we away from what the problem was. I mean, there we go. We got a picture. It's working, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, there you go. That concludes our tutorial on how to repair your DLP television. Um, you got to give this a little bit of time, and the bulb will start to warm up. And as it gets warmer, it'll get brighter, and then it'll start functioning actually better than just like when you first got it. That's the good thing about a DLP. You don't have to worry about replacing LEDs. You don't have to worry about replacing a plasma panel, a LCD panel. You just need to change a bulb. Sometimes it requires a little bit of cleaning on the inside or some of the reflective glass, but this is pretty rare. All right. So as you see, I just took it from not working to working. So I hope that this tutorial helps you. If you end up needing to change the DLP chip, feel free to shoot me a message, and I'll do what I can on that. And if this video helps you, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. It really helped with the motivation of me continuing to try to put out these help fix it tutorials. So, and until next time, we fixed it.